My name is Shamika. I am 29. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of three beautiful babies. Um, and yeah, I wanted to do this live with Marasha. We've been kind of talking about it for a little while, talking about the topic at least. So we just wanted to discuss it and get others, get others in on other people's experiences, I guess, on our experiences and, different ways you can deal with your mental health and strengthen your mental health and things that you can do to cope. So that's pretty much the direction of this live.
Pretty much. Yeah, we can so I'll start
Uh-oh,
back
that looks
introducing myself the right way. Um I'm Marasha. I don't have any children at this time. I'm pretty much just me. So it's a little different for me dealing with mental health than others who have kids, I feel. Um and like you say, you're a wife, so you have another person. I mean, I have a significant other too, but you know,
hmm So
yeah.
it's like from different different backgrounds, so to speak,
Right,
or
yeah.
current backgrounds, yeah. So
Yeah.
so you want to kind of talk about some of the like how you've been dealing and with stuff growing up, or any how were you introduced to the topic of mental health? You want to go into all that?
I really so when you're younger, you don't really know too much of why your mood has changed or why feel a certain way you do. You just automatically think that, I'm sad, I'm sad. But
Hmm.
I guess it happened to me once I moved to Oklahoma, and I was around 19. That's when I really once a lady that I worked for, she was telling me, like, I guess she watched me, and I worked for her for almost a year, and she had watched me and my moods and different things like that, and she was just asking me, she was like, have you ever want to talk to someone, or have you ever had meds or anything? And I looked at her, like she was crazy, because I'm like, what you trying to say, like, but she went
And
further
how
on
old were
to
you when
explain
this
to me.
happened?
I
I'm
was
sorry.
19. I was
19. Okay.
19. Well, actually, I was around 20 because I was working for her for a year. But I was around 20 when actually I guess went to talk to someone. She actually, and no one, I never told no one this, but she actually drove me one day. She called someone else in because I worked at a daycare, and she called someone else in, and she took me to someplace in Ponca City that I cannot remember the name, but it was basically for mental health.
Hmm.
And they were talking to me about different things and how you take like I guess evaluation. You take evaluation to see how certain things make you feel, and then they do like um they didn't do anything medical because they were just like a center where you go talk to them, but they do different
Hmm.
kind of tests and different things like that. And my issue is so much as depression. I mean, I do have depression issues, but my anxiety is what causes me to just lose it.
Yeah.
That's what my mental health come in at, and people don't want to talk about it because when you say mental, they automatically think, something
Crazy.
completely different,
Hmm.
but everyone experienced this stuff, and it's crazy because you would think you are alone. And I never known that as many people who struggle with mental health, I would have never known that until you
Hmm.
actually start talking about the situation or the topic, because no one ever talks about it. No
Right.
one talked about it to me really. And then this lady comes, in, and she tells me about it, and she took me to, talk to someone. And ever since then, they wanted to do, how they put you on meds and different things like that. I didn't want it,
Hmm.
and not saying that it's a bad thing. And if anybody takes meds for depression or anxiety, it's not a a bad thing. But I didn't want it personally because
Right.
I wasn't at the point, and I'm still not at the point where, I mean, I have my days. I have my days where I don't want to get out of bed. I don't, but I have to, because I
Yeah.
can't just lay there. And I have my days where you think everything is going good. You have a good day, and then all of a sudden your mood changes, and you wonder like Like, I was just fine. And it came to a
Mhm.
point where I was snapping off, on different people, like not really snapping too bad, but I was really snappy, and they would, take it as me just being mean or rude, or if my family members, I have a lot of cousins who invite me to different things, and I'm all for it. But then it's like, when that day comes, I don't know what happens to trigger me, or if it's just my
Mhm.
mood change. I don't want to go, I don't want to do
Mhm.
it. And then I have a
Mhm.
few cousins who were upset with me for a little bit of time because I never went to any functions that they really, I mean, I have went to some, but it seems
Yeah.
like when I throw a function, I'm ready for this function because it's mine. You know
Right.
what I mean? But by the time that function happens, like my birthday parties and stuff that I've thrown, I've been come to the, like, but I came to the point that, like, let me put this on D&D. Sorry guys. I forgot that we took it off, trying to fix this thing. This has been a
Yeah.
crazy week trying to get this live up. But anyways, and people think that, you just acting funny or acting a certain type of way, but it's really not. So that's why I encourage people
Yeah.
to, if you have a cousin like me, who y'all talk about it all week, but then that day comes and I change my mind, maybe instead of getting mad, call me and talk to me to see why I don't want to go. Because
Right.
I'm honestly not just gonna tell you, like, look, I'm in a bad mood, I'm not feeling good. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna come. And a
Mhm.
lot of people don't get that. And sometimes that makes me distance myself even more, because it's like, okay, I can't control this right now. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna get mad at me because I couldn't come to this event, then I'm sorry. I do apologize for it, but stop just thinking everybody's just ignoring you, because they're not.
Yeah.
And some things I've been doing to cope with this situation, because we can't go anywhere. Like, I do driving for Grubhub. I do that. So that's the only thing that gets me out the house. But I
Right.
have my hand sanitizer, I have my face mask. Like, this whole thing is just, it makes me not want to, but this is the
Yeah.
only way that I have to make money. So I'm gonna be honest, what I do is, before I get out of bed, before my feet touch the floor, I pray. I have a talk with God. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's not that long, but I just ask him to touch my mind, to touch my heart, to keep my mindset strong. And then when
Yeah.
I'm driving, sometimes there's times when I feel myself, just like the other day, I started crying, and I'm like, oh my God, like, why? What is wrong with me? And I pulled over by, what is that? Boston Market. I pulled over by that, and I just prayed, like, Lord, please, just, I'm driving. I can't deal with this right now.
Mhm.
Lord, please just touch my mind. Like, what is going on? And it's not even so much as just my own issues. It's all these, every time I see a new case of this coronavirus on Facebook, I get sad, and I get, like, my anxiety act up, because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so close.
Yeah.
I had two people in my family to have it, and they're both good right now. I have one who needs prayer, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's even hard, because that's somebody in your own family. So you're like, oh my God. So you automatically start thinking, how many days ago did
It
I see
makes
this
it
person?
worse. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It makes it worse.
it makes it so much worse. So it's just like, a lot of people, they are ignoring it. And it's like, I don't let it control my life. I'm not going to just stay in the house all day and not be able to do my Grubhub and stuff, because that's how I make my money right now.
Mhm.
But I have my days when I'm out here for a few hours, and then I start to get a little, whatever, I'll come home, because I didn't the other day come home, and I really, like, had to pull over. And it's so much other things on top of this pandemic now, we have to, worry about.
All
And
the
the only
things that
things
come
that
along
keeps,
with it. Yeah.
yeah, everything that comes along with it. And the only thing that's keeping me kind of sane is, I have a lot of homework to do. I'm trying to start my business that I've been
Mhm.
talking about, my lip gloss business. I actually got a name for it, but
Oh.
I just want to. I'm trying to do every single thing, so that I'm not just having 1 minute where I'm just sitting here not doing anything. That's how
So
my life has been.
your coping is staying busy.
Staying
That's how
busy.
you cope.
Staying that's the only way I can cope, because it's like when you're not staying busy, when I'm sitting on my bed and I'm just watching TV, I start thinking about a whole bunch of stuff
Your
that
mind
we
wanders,
can't
yeah.
do, I want to do, that I need to do.
Mhm.
And then it's also like, yeah, they did send, $1,200 out. They did, and I'm not saying that it's nothing, but they not realizing, like, okay, we have been in this house, we've been locked down for a while, right?
It's been a while,
It's
yeah.
been a
It's been
while,
over
and
a month. It's been
over a
like
month,
6 weeks, I think now.
right? And then they want to extend this lockdown, but it's like, I don't know. It's a
I
lot.
It is. It's a lot. I think the effects, like with unemployment and with,
Yeah.
just the uncertainty, I think is just it's a lot for your mind to process. And I don't
Right.
think that I've fully, I mean, I'm doing better with it, but I still don't think that I've fully processed everything that's going on. And, like for me, I'm actually an essential worker, but my job got shut down because
Okay.
of this. So, where I was going to work and, the kids got, um, they told the kids they can go back to school and all that stuff, I still was going to work. Well, I get a call saying that, such and such happened because of this. It's multiple reasons, but they all have to do with the actual virus. I won't go into
Right.
detail. But because of that, I'm, not able to go into work. And so now I'm, at home and, you with the kids and, I have small kids. I have a
Yeah.
9-year-old, a 3-year old, and a 2-year-old. So, being at home with the kids and not, all this being brought on so suddenly, um, I think like the lack of being able to plan, you couldn't plan for this. You couldn't, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So with all of that, it kind of heightens my anxiety. I was, one of those people, like you said, you watch the news and, seeing all these people passing away and people
Yeah.
becoming infected, it does get like, for me, it definitely got me emotional.
Yeah.
And to the point where I was, even when I was working, I would be, hold on, I'm trying to get a better angle. Even when I was working, I would be at work, like in tears, thinking about
Hmm.
all this and seeing all this. So, but what I've been doing really is just trying to turn each negative
To a
into a
positive.
positive,
Right. Right.
so yeah, we at home and, can't really do anything or go anywhere, that we normally would go or do. But, you can be like, I've been being creative and, practicing a lot of self-care and, I've been doing my YouTube channel. So,
Yep.
just turning that energy to something, positive and something productive that maybe been wanting to do or, never had the time to do or whatever.
Right.
That's what I've been doing to help me cope and, doing puzzles and activities and stuff with the kids. That's stuff that I all like before all this happened. I never had time for because
To
I
do.
work overnights because
Right.
so I'm, sleeping most of the day. Kids would be in school and by the time they get out of school, it's about time for me to get ready to go to work.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I never really had that time. And so now it's like, okay, I have nothing but time. Do I sit and cry and worry about, if I'm going to get my unemployment or not, or am I going to try to, do what I got to do as far as, X, Y, and Z, and then I'm going to
Yeah.
try to be productive about it. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. But it does, even with those positives, it does get rough, like trying to sometimes sleep at night is difficult with having the
Absolutely.
anxiety,
Yeah. I,
and my sleep pattern is all thrown off. Like I'm, going to sleep at 6 in the evening, sometimes waking up at 1, being up
yep.
until, 4 o'clock, so it's because my mind still is all over the place.
Yep.
But, I just try to redirect that,
Yeah. And I guess the thing is for me is I never went anywhere anyways.
Hmm.
So it's not the fact things are closed down. That's not the issue for me. The issue for me is the fact that there's a virus going around that they don't have that much information about.
Mhm.
That's what's getting me. Like one minute y'all say that it's not airborne, next minute y'all say, oh, everybody need to be wearing masks. It's, it's kind of like dang, do I need to put on a Buzz Lightyear outfit and go
A
outside
suit,
to just be
right?
safe? Like, is that what it is? Because y'all don't know anything. And I feel like the government, I'm not trying to make this political or anything, but I feel like they're withholding things because they think it's better for us. Like, we're not going to worry or something, but it's
Mhm.
making us worry even
It
more
it does,
because
yeah.
we don't know, and now y'all are, I don't know how true these articles on Facebook are. I just share them and I read them to see, the source and different things like that. But like how they extended it to the end of May, the lockdown,
Mhm.
the end of May, and then there was another one that said that starting May 1st, they wanted everybody to wear face masks in public. This
Mhm. I
also
read that.
we have to also think, like, I was reading something that was really, really, because everybody is just thinking about adults right now in the situation, but
Yeah.
nobody's thinking about the kids. I don't
Mhm.
have any kids, but I have a niece and nephew who are my heart. I have a whole bunch of little cousins who I would do anything for, but
Mhm.
it's like depression starts at the age of 3 to 5. It's very rare, but they can start getting, you can get depressed at the age,
Mhm.
and then from 6 and on is very common, but like those the kids. So this one girl, I was in Save a Lot and I had on my face mask, and the little girl was just like, and then somebody else walked past with a face mask, and she just looking. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they're just like, why is everybody walking around with masks on? Like, and
Mask
that's
and
that's exactly
gloves and yeah.
that is how she was looking at me. And then me, this one guy, I take this in the store with me. This is
Mhm.
Grubhub sent this to us, the hand sanitizer,
Mhm.
but I poured theirs out because it didn't smell strong enough, and I put my own in here that I
Okay.
made that smells strong. So this one guy, he walked past and he coughs, and I gave him a spray. I
Mhm.
sprayed his air. Like, I don't know what's going on.
What did he say
I
or
had on a
do?
mask, but he walked past the little girl, and the mom thanked me. But you walk past this little girl and you coughing and stuff, so I sprayed around her and his air.
Mhm.
Like, gone with that. We don't know what that is,
Just
but
imagine it from, their little standpoints. Like, the
yeah,
little, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look at my kids and I'm like, they don't know what's going on, but it is impacting them, even though they may not, necessarily, I
right.
mean, except for school, and stuff like that, but
But they don't. To be
they
honest,
don't,
they are happy that they are not in school.
yeah,
To
yeah,
honestly, and I'm sure they're happy that their parents are home, spending all this time with them. I'm sure that they're
yeah.
happy for all that stuff. But I think in the long run, like, they don't understand all the way
Hmm.
completely that this is a serious matter. They don't know why schools are closed. Especially the younger ones. They probably like, oh,
Hmm.
we summer break. They don't know
Yeah.
really. And so it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people, and I see a lot of people on Facebook talking about, you know, y'all, like, people are taking it too far, and just like basically saying that they're not worried about it and just different things like that. And that's perfectly
Hmm.
fine because I didn't look up the percentage of people who don't are likely not to suffer from depression or anxiety, but think of the people who do. And like you were saying before we actually got our live video to connect, I don't know if you want me to mention that or not, but how, sometimes if your significant other, if they don't go through that, then they
Hmm.
can't understand,
They don't
they don't
understand. Yeah.
understand it, and it's not their fault. So, and I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of people who deal with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. From my experience with my husband, he didn't understand. He still doesn't completely understand, but he's getting there because, he's around me all the time and me actually talking to him instead of yelling at him when I'm having one of these, one of my breakdowns or whatever. He's doing a lot better with helping me to, deal with when I do have anxiety attacks, because I have them
Yeah.
sometimes driving in the car and I'm, I don't know where I'm at, or I miss a turn or something like that. I will literally sometimes have to pull over and let him drive,
Right, right,
because
right,
even
right.
with the
Yeah.
GPS on, I miss a turn or something, it just makes it like my reaction worse because I'm like, oh man, I should have turned there. I see it right in front of my face. You know what I mean? So it's like you start
Yeah.
beating yourself up, and
Yep.
and then your blood is pumping, your heart is pumping fast, and you start
And then
sweating.
I
You're
get
like,
this
okay, wait a
little
minute.
shaking mode, and my hand starts. You're right. My hand starts sweating, and the steering wheel is slippery, and that happens to me
Mhm.
too a lot. And sometimes I'll be in the car by myself when that happens, and so what do you do when you're by yourself? Well, when I'm by myself and I'm on the expressway, then I may take the wrong turn. Now I'm better because I know that, okay, I missed this one, I'll take the next one, and now it should meet me back up. But when I first started driving on the expressway,
Mhm.
I missed one exit. I freak out like, oh my God, now I gotta drive. I'm lost. I don't know where to go. Good thing I always fill my
Mhm.
tank up before I get on the expressway. But one time I put the directions in. I was coming from, I think Oak Lawn or something. No, Oak Brook. And then I put the directions in for Hickory Street, but I didn't make sure it said Chicago Heights. So I'm
Mhm.
somewhere else, and I'm like, wait a minute, these exits don't look like the Matson exit. Like, where am I at? And then that's when I really realized it. So it's like a lot of people don't realize that every single, how should I say this? Every daily activity can affect someone with depression or anxiety.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
everything in the activity, like I was doing research on depression, mainly depression, because I see a lot of people on my Facebook who talks about depression. I see anxiety too, and I know I deal with anxiety, and I know you do, but I see more
Mhm.
about depression and people just being sad and can't control it. I see more about that. And I was looking it up, and it was just saying, the medical community doesn't even fully understand the cause of it either. Like, nobody can really tell you exactly what is causing you to be depressed.
Mhm.
So some people say that, you got to go back to that source. It's hard to go back to that source. Like me, I tried to trace back to the source of why I have anxiety issues, and sometimes, suffer with depression, and I couldn't find anything.
Cause I don't know. I mean, when you say source, it kind of narrows your mind to, okay, it should be one thing that
One
happened, or
thing, right?
one traumatic. And I don't think that that is, that's the
I guess
case.
it's
I
just
think that
multiple
there's,
things,
yes, I
right?
think it can absolutely, like for me, my childhood, kind of going into when I was introduced, I guess, even without fully understanding, mental health and mental illness and stuff, is growing up and being, I'm pretty sure I was like 11, 12 years old. So that's not even high school. And I was literally sitting in like a kid's psych ward
Yeah.
because I tried to kill myself.
Oh.
And, for them to, to go through that, and to go through the psych evaluation where they ask you all the different questions, and, and like you literally, like I had to stay there for like 2 weeks, like sleep there, get my therapy treatments there, my group therapy, one-on-one therapy, and all of this. And, to be told that you have major depressive depression disorder. I can't talk.
Mhm.
Major
Mhm.
depression disorder at the age of, what was I, 11, 12 years old. It's like, okay, you don't know what that is. I
Mhm.
didn't know what it was until I was probably like 20 years old and actually started, looking into it and
Right.
really researching, and, starting to come to grip with my feelings and what was going on in my head. And I was actually put on medication, but I was a child. I didn't have much of a choice. That was up to
Right.
my
Right.
parents. So um, I didn't. I don't really recall too much of my experience with the medicine. I just remember it making me feel just like spaced out. It was like kind of like you were just
Yeah.
kind of numb to, to what was going on around you, and I hated that. But I wasn't on the medication that long. But, then growing up and dealing with, depression, and dealing with anxiety. And I didn't even know too much about anxiety until more recently when I started, researching it and stuff. And I'm like, okay, why are my hands sweating? Why am I shaking? Why is my
Mhm.
heart? And to go online or, talk to people, whatever I did during that time of research, and to be pretty much told it's anxiety. And anxiety is something that it's not just one or two people that are going through, like it's a lot of people that actually experience
Right. Yeah.
this. So I mean, and I can't really say that I've come up with one solution that helps me to deal with anxiety, or anxiety attacks or anything like that, because I haven't.
Mhm.
But I think just every day is just it's a it's an ongoing thing. It's a you learn a lot every day from it. You deal with it on on a day-to-day basis, and that's pretty much you know how I've been dealing with it.
Yeah. And it's like it's hard. It is hard to deal with because when I have those bad days of like, I mean, crazy, because mine, I don't have it every day, but
Mhm.
during this time, I've pretty much been on the edge every day, only because of the virus. So it's not really much, and it's like I said, it's not so much as being stuck in the house. It's so much as like, okay, I just walked outside, so should I put a mask on just to be outside, or only if I'm by somebody? Like that's
Mhm.
that's my whole issue. I see people in their cars by themselves with masks
With
on,
mask and glove, yeah.
masks and gloves, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're the only one driving right now. I
Yeah,
think.
but but at the same time, it's like you have people that are still going into stores, and that are still going into
Hmm.
gas stations or whatever, with no mask, no
With
gloves. They
no
still touching the
mask.
doors,
Yep.
and we don't understand it. But in their head, they like, okay, why they got everybody got
Right.
gloves?
Right.
That ain't gonna that ain't gonna prevent it. That ain't gonna, if you got a mask on, it can still go around the mask. Everybody got their own,
They got their own.
theories,
I
and
mean, and yes,
yeah.
it could, but you more likely like this. My thing. I think the masks is more for more like if somebody is say if somebody sneezed and walked past, but they're not there anymore. Their air might still be a little there. You know what I mean? So if I come right behind them, I have on a mask. That's how I think of it because I don't wear my mask all the time. Now, if I'm going into like Walmart or a store, I'll wear my mask. But there's some stores like there, like it's a little I call it like a little Mexican store right on the corner that
Mhm.
it's very empty.
Mhm.
If I see no cars like in the parking lot, because there's been times I've been there by myself, I'll run in and grab what I need to get and run out. But then when I walk in, all the employees got on masks and gloves, so I'm like, okay, cool. So it's like sometimes I don't think about it, but then there's some days when I'm like let me grab my stuff, and then now
Yeah.
like I messed up my bank card because every time I take my bank card out, I'm spraying my card,
Scanning.
spraying the money, like spraying the ATM. I take off my like I don't wear gloves anymore because I think it does defeat the purpose. But I when I was wearing gloves, when I get back in the car, I'll spray and keep my gloves clean. But
Yeah.
at the same time, my hands sweat. It's just too much. So the mask I have, but like I said, I don't know. This has really shaken everybody,
Mhm.
especially people with depression and anxiety. And I
Yeah,
think,
but I think that it also gives you that opportunity, and that time that I keep bringing up,
yeah,
to actually dig deeper into it, and to to
yep,
find different ways
until
of
you
dealing
figure
with
it
it
out.
too. Because honestly, like, this is not just because I don't have to go to work, or kids take the kids to school or anything like that. It's not so much that, but uh, because I have this time to actually think, and to think. It's not like constantly moving and having
Right.
to pick up and go, and pack a lunch, get some sleep before work, whatever. You don't have
Yeah.
to do any of that right now. So it makes you look at your routine, and it makes you look at yourself, from a mental health standpoint, or spiritual or
Right.
physical. Like, even with, there's a lot of people that have been starting to work out and eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's not just the time, but just having that um being like I said, being forced to look at yourself. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I'm sitting around all day. I can be being productive.
Right.
So
Right.
that
And that's
that's
yeah, and I agree with that because it's like I said, it's not. I don't think us being forced to stay at home and people being forced to be with their kids. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I actually think that this is a very great thing, because this is something that people needed. But I think the whole thing that's wrapped around it is the virus.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like, oh, we're in the house because of this,
Yeah.
and we can't do this because of that. So I think I mean, you can't forget about it. You can't. But there's some days I eliminate that out of my head. I eliminate it. I don't watch the news. If I see something about it on Facebook, I scroll past it, and I might
Yeah.
even push hide this post, because I do want to know, what's going on, but at the same time, I don't want to know all the time. And
Yeah.
that's another thing I've been doing, is limiting my television time to the
Mhm.
max. There were some days, when I'm laying in my bed, I might get, turn over and just click the TV switch. I don't do that at all no more. The first thing I do, like I say, I do my daily prayer, because it actually helps me. It
Yeah.
actually do help me, and it's, a lot of people say, during this time, read the Bible more and do this and do that more. I still do, read my Bible and stuff when I can, but I feel like I'm doing so much more now, if that makes sense, because I'm trying to keep myself so busy that I
Mhm.
started so many projects, and I'm like, okay, Marcia, you have to step back, focus on one at a time.
Mhm.
That's why, like, I wanted to, get my lip gloss and stuff out, but I had to wait for stuff from Amazon and all that stuff, because they're only sending out essential needs
Mhm.
right now. So all that stuff finally came. So now I just have to pick a day to get it all, all going and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's just like, I guess that's just the main thing that I've been doing, is just homework. And then my pastor, he's my uncle too. He's been helping me a lot, because he sends every morning, or maybe not every morning, but he sends us devotionals through our emails.
Oh, okay.
And I read them. And I really, really, my uncle, well, he I don't know exactly what the term is, but he went to school for basically like mental health and all that,
Okay.
psychology. And I believe he has his degree in it. And so he understands a lot. When I first started not my YouTube, but the Act from the Heart on Facebook that I have,
Mhm.
I'm actually gonna start posting more videos in there. So I would like, now that we know how to do this on Instagram, I would like for us to, maybe if we can get some videos, going together.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think, like I said, when me and you worked at the hotel together, I just knew that you were quiet. Like, I didn't you were quiet, and that's all. I mean, you had your jokes and all that different things like that,
Mhm.
but I would have never just looked at her and be like, oh, she's suffering from depression. Like, I would never do, or
Mhm.
anxiety. You can't look at a person and tell that, especially a strong person. And you
Yeah.
are a strong person, because you're a wife, a mother of three. You still work. You know what I mean? You got your YouTube channel going on. You have a lot of stuff
Aw.
going on. So
Yeah.
people don't say, what? Let me check on Shamika. I haven't heard from her in a couple weeks. Let me check on her.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
I
same
think
as me. Yeah,
I think that honestly that's something that um dealing with depression, anxiety, and all of those things, it has affected me, like, in my social life,
yeah,
because there's honestly been, like, more than months, probably years at a time, that I've gone without answering my phone regularly,
yep.
responding to texts. People might invite me out, and I might say yes, but then, like you say, that day come and you like,
It's like,
no. I've done that a lot. And then you get a lot of people that, if you haven't seen them in 5 6 months, and then you see them, and then they're, you did it. To me, it's like, for them, it's more so like a conversational, like, how have you been?
yeah,
What have you been up to? But for me, I fear that. Like, I absolutely fear
fear.
the
Me too.
questioning.
Right.
I fear it. As innocent as it is for someone to just ask me, how are you, or whatever, I will literally not go somewhere, because I'm like, I don't want nobody asking me
What's
because I
been
don't want
going
to
on? And yeah,
and then
I get
you
that.
can lie and say, yeah, I'm good. I mean, and I've done that. I still do that, but sometimes like that fear itself of just having conversation with people, and that getting caught up. I hate that after being depressed and sitting in the house for 6-8 months.
Yep.
I hate that, that I feel like it's almost like confrontation.
Right. And then it's like, what do you say? Do
Yeah.
I say, look, I've been struggling with this. I've been sad. Does people really listen? Do people even care?
Right.
Those are my questions that I ask the people, because are you just asking me because somebody else asked you what's wrong with me? Are you asking me because somebody brought me up? Are you asking me to be nosy? Are you asking me to
Mm-hmm.
pass off information? Like, why are
Mm-hmm.
you asking me how I'm doing? You ain't never did this before. So I
Right.
feel like if people, I feel like if people do that more to their friends and families, like we have Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
People get on Facebook and it's just like, oh, we just friends on Facebook. We cool. There's some people on Facebook who never talk. But
Yeah.
then it's like this one girl, I'm not gonna say her name because but I lived in Ohio. I knew her when I lived in Ohio, and she had put a couple posts on Facebook back to back. It was late. I think it was like 12 a.m. I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
and she was just like putting one post up there like, I tell everybody else, I give everybody else advice, and I'm there for everybody else when they need to talk, when they need me, I'm there, I'm strong for them. But when it's my turn, who's there? Nobody's there for me. That
Mm-hmm.
was her post. So then after that, I liked that post. Then after that, she put up another post. She was like, check on us because we are not okay.
Yeah.
I like that post again. She put another post up there because somebody in her family commented on it and was like, you need to quit doing all this, basically. And I'm just like, how are you going to tell them this person? I mean, maybe Facebook is not the way to go, but it's
For
social
some
media,
people,
you know?
some people don't know how to deal with it any other way, so they
No, right.
their cry out for help, it might be a
Through
Facebook
Facebook,
post.
right? Because it's like, now the person that I want to talk to, I can't talk to them about this. So I'll put it on Facebook so that, and when she put that post on Facebook and I inbox and I said, check your inbox, and I inboxed her a long message, and I'm just like, look, if you ever need to talk, talk to me. Let me know what's going on. I won't respond. I'll just listen to you. If that's all you
Mm-hmm.
need me to do is listen, I'll just listen to you. And I did that. She didn't want to talk on the phone, but she texted. So I had to literally sit up against my wall so I wouldn't fall asleep, because I can send a text 1 minute and be asleep the next.
Yeah.
So I had to, like, get up so that I can be there for her. And it helped. She said it helped a lot. But I was just telling her, like, if it's that bad, she said she was thinking about getting help, and I'm like, you should go talk to somebody. And
Mm-hmm.
not separating us from anybody else, but the Black community, they don't really do all of that. They
Mm-hmm.
don't. And I hate to say it like that, but they don't. They ignore mental health issues. They ignore when somebody say depressions. If their family member constantly keep putting they're depressed or something on Facebook, they just think that they want attention.
Yeah.
They talk about them. You don't check on them. Like we I don't know. It's just,
Yeah,
I
and then
see it
yeah,
a
they
lot,
get
and
into the whole
it
this
makes
isn't
me
for face.
mad.
They
Yeah,
get into the, oh, this isn't for Facebook. You need to take this down. How about you get off the post that I posted
and
and
call
call
me.
me, or message me or whatever, and see what's actually going on
Right.
before you start telling me what I should or shouldn't post on
Put on
Facebook.
Facebook. Yep.
Because I used to be like that too. Like, why should she? I've seen it. I don't pass judgment on it like I used to,
Right.
but I would see, even, I mean, family members of mine, I used to do it. Hell, I would put posts on Facebook and,
Hmm.
talking about my baby daddy or, whatever. Like, I mean, this was years and years ago, but, you know,
You grow,
but,
you live and you learn.
right. And would literally, like, I had people calling me, cussing me out. Like, why are you putting that on Facebook? And, you don't need to be. Okay, talk to me first, calm down, lower your tone,
Ask me what's wrong.
and let me actually explain to you what's going on. And maybe you'll understand. Maybe I shouldn't have put it on Facebook, maybe I could have worded it differently. I get that, but you actually know the background behind what I'm talking about. So you don't want to just automatically X somebody out or count somebody out or say, oh, you're doing this for attention or whatever,
Right.
because
Right.
sometimes that's all people know. That's all people
That's
know
all.
is
No, you're
going on
right.
Facebook, social media, or whatever. So, we shouldn't downplay um or count people out because of the way that they deal with sadness or fear
Right.
or, whatever. I think that, all of those things should be considered, especially, you and I, we both know, dealing with the stuff personally,
Mm-hmm.
how many thoughts can go through your head and, you feel like nobody's listening to you because,
In 1 second.
right, nobody's listening to you or nobody understands you or, whatever. So we just have to be more aware and more, what's the word I'm trying to use?
Understanding,
Understanding and accepting
accepting.
of people,
Right.
in their different ways of dealing with it. And, we
Right.
can be, even just you and I, even if it's just us two, can connect with those people, maybe on a different level. You know what I'm saying? If you see somebody acting out, especially if it's family or, or a friend, an old friend or something, reach out to them. Please reach out to them.
That was my that was my initial plan for Act from the Heart on
Hmm.
Facebook. When I first started, I wanted people to inbox me with issues so that I can make a video about it. Not telling their personal business or their name, but just seeing what's common for people, basically.
Hmm.
And it turned out like that because I had so many guys in my inbox asking me what's up, or asking me just do I got a man, or asking me different questions that don't that's not attractive
Had
to
nothing to
me,
do with
and it has
it.
nothing to do with acting from the heart. Like, I mean, maybe that's a good gesture. So this one guy, he, and I can see some of his posts he was putting on Facebook. He was very depressed. He was going through something, and he was just I don't even know how we became friends. I don't, but we had mutual friends. So he was just saying, like, some girl broke up with him. He was super depressed about it, but at the same time he was inboxing me, and I was ignoring his messages,
Hmm.
ignoring him. But then when he was writing his posts, he was just like, basically, he feels ignored and all this different stuff. So in my head, I'm like, okay, Marasha, just send him a nice little message that says you have a man, you're not, because in my head I'm like, oh my god, like, I don't want him to go hurt himself, because that's how he was talking. And I'm
Hmm.
like, from a rejection, because I didn't really reject him, I just didn't respond. So I inboxed him and I'm like, look, I'm in a relationship, I wasn't ignoring you, I just felt like it's better not to respond than to sit here and go through all this. I said, but I'm praying for you, I hope everything works out for you. And I was like, I know we lose those people that we really love, but if you lost them, if it was your fault, or even if it was their fault, sometimes you just have to move on.
Hmm.
But I know it's easier said than done to move on. So it might take some time, but don't think about hurting yourself because somebody else don't want you. It's
Yeah.
their loss. Now, I didn't know this guy, but I just had to tell them that. It's their loss, because it is. If somebody is acting, and if you see me keep putting all these posts on Facebook, depression, even if you are my ex and we just broke up, you should inbox me, and talk about the issue so we can see. I mean, you are my ex. No, we're not going to get back together, but I feel like, especially fresh relations, fresh exes, I guess,
Hmm.
or relationships. But other than that, like, that really scared me when he put that on there. I hurry up inbox him like, I ain't ignoring you, I just got a man. Like, I don't want anybody to harm themselves because they only needed one person to listen. And like you
Yeah.
said, this video, you want to just reach at least one person,
One person. That's
just
it.
one person. And that's what my act from the heart, if I can reach one person. And I was putting stuff up there, and the one of my friends, I do her hair, she inboxed me and she was like, I love this, thank you so much. And I was like, I just wanted to touch one person. She was like, well, you're doing she's like, you achieved your goal. She's like,
Hmm.
I'm looking on everything. And then when we were going to church, my pastor, I would try to go live, so people can see him. Didn't always work too much because it's in Fort Heights and their Wi-Fi connection was horrible.
Hmm.
But other than that, I try to encourage people more. But it's like, from my point of view, if nobody noticed, my videos kind of stopped because it's like, how can I encourage others if I can't even encourage myself?
Hmm.
But then I was doing more research, and it's like, one way to try to encourage other people to encourage yourself is to encourage other people.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that. I didn't get that at first, but then I started to get it, that when I have so many people texting me about their issues, and I just talk about their issues as if I don't have any. And I think, and that's when it comes I'm not going to blame myself, but I do say I take part in people not knowing what's really going on
Yes.
inside because I
Mm-hmm.
don't say anything. But when you're so used to people, judging, or when you're so used to people talking about you behind your back, people look at me and people be like, she's so sweet and innocent. I'm not sweet and innocent. I have my flaws, but I'm not a mean person to where like I care about everybody.
Yeah.
Literally, I do. And if I see somebody that I don't know, some guy that I don't know how we became friends on Facebook, but we had a lot of mutual friends in Ohio. He also was, talking about depression and other things like that, but he had people that was supporting him on his page. He had
Mm-hmm.
family members who was like, "Get off Facebook, call me. What's going on?" And I guess they worked it out because his posts started to get happier and uplifting. I haven't seen him post anything. Like there's a lot of times when I'm on Facebook, people see me on Facebook. I don't always just post stuff, you know. A lot of times I'll be looking at people posts and stuff,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think social media, yeah, it can get you in trouble a lot of ways, but it also can be a good help.
It really can. Because I mean, social media, that is a lot of people's outlet for, talking about whether it
It
be
is.
their marriage, kids, mental health, physical health, whatever. I think I invited you to a group
You did.
for, okay. So, I think things like you say can be used, for positive, like with your act from the heart.
Hmm.
I think that that's something positive that you should definitely, because it's not about the like or the share, or you
About,
don't
yeah.
want to, yeah, you don't want to base what you do every day off of someone, or a lot of people didn't comment on it or like it or
Yep.
whatever.
That was my
But there's
issue.
still, yeah, there's still people that are seeing it, because I know I see posts not just from you, but posts in other groups and stuff, and I don't like them all the time,
Hmm.
or comment on it or whatever.
I
That
do
doesn't
that
mean
too.
that I don't see it. That doesn't mean that it didn't give me motivation for that day or for even that moment or whatever. So I think we have to take our minds off of that, the the mindset that we have to reach 500 people or
Right.
a
Yeah.
thousand people. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like you said,
One
one
person.
person is all it takes for me. And if it's that same one person every day for the next 365 days a year,
Then that's right.
then I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? If it's not meant for me to reach 600,000 people, then that's not meant.
It's not meant. And,
It,
and I'm glad you brought that up because that was my issue. I put up 2 videos on that page
mm-hmm,
and they got a few likes, but I'm like, okay, so is nobody being able to see it? Are they
mm-hmm,
not seeing it? But then I looked at the views. One of my videos, I want to say, got like over 100 views, and I'm like, oh wow. So people are viewing it, but then I have to realize, I'm Rachel. When you on Facebook, you look at stuff and scroll past. Like you don't always
mm-hmm.
like. So I had to put myself in that position. But when you send me that message on YouTube, it got me a little bit, got me to thinking. So this is going to be one I'm going to upload to all, platforms. And then I'm going to keep trying to really get that one video out once a week, you know, at least more than one. But I feel what you're saying on that part. And I really do think it's important that we can reach at least one person. Then we're doing what we're supposed to do,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
And even not even that, just me and you talking right now could be helping both of us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I did,
It don't even have to be on camera or being
yep,
recorded or anything like that. I would
yeah.
like to do another one of these. It doesn't have to be like once a week or like a set time frame,
Mm,
but I would like for us to do like a check-in, here and there, and we can
yeah,
talk about it, and even if it's just a brief or 2 hour check-in, we can. I think that's something that we should definitely do.
we should. We should start that. We should do that. And
Mhm.
also, like, this is also another a good example of us not being able to actually maneuver too many places because maybe this is a time where people need to hear what we have to say. Maybe it
Mhm.
is a time where people need to hear that, okay, you're not alone in this, because there's a lot of people who think that they're alone, and then there's a lot of people who don't suffer from it, who thinks that the person who's suffering from it is alone, but it's
Mhm.
not. Like,
Or they,
and
yeah, they
also
they crazy, they this, they
they
that, yeah.
crazy. They just want attention. She let him do whatever he wants to her. This, and you know that could be also a part of anxiety and depression when people are in bad relationships. And
Mhm.
it could be the man could be beating on the woman, and some people wonder like, why are you still with him? Maybe he's the only one. It's one certain thing that makes her feel good,
Yeah.
and that is why she deals with everything else. And I don't know how good of an example is that is because I've never been in an abusive relationship like physically, but I've been in a like verbal abusive one where they
Yeah.
like say something like that, but I guess it don't really affect me because I have a mouth that you know don't say nothing to me if you don't want me to come back. But I try to be
Firecracker.
better at that because I don't want I that also brings my anxiety out when people upset me and I can't say what I want to say to them. I get to
Mhm.
shaking,
Mhm.
So that's another way. No, if I wake up in the morning, I'm not feeling too good, and I feel like I might snap. I just say one thing to me wrong, I do distance myself, But I just feel like a lot of people maybe we distance ourselves too much.
Yeah,
I'm
I
one of
have.
them
I'm
people.
guilty of that. I'm
I'm
guilty,
very
definitely
guilty.
guilty.
Yeah.
But like I said, it for me, honestly, it's been that fear of that, confrontation, so to
That
speak, of
yeah.
where you been, why you been
That
acting.
question.
And I deal with that not just with friends, but with family too. I have
Yeah.
family that Shamika, where have you been? What's going on? And I'm still not fully at the point where I talk about everything,
Yep.
but I'm getting there. I'm gonna try,
Yeah.
but I'm still dealing with stuff myself. I'm not a, master expert on, mental health and, how to cope with it, how to deal with it. All I can do is share my experience. That's really all I
Right,
can do.
yeah. And I think maybe with these videos, we can both come out of our shell a little bit
Mhm.
as to talking about our problems because, you never know who actually might be in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of people suffer from depression and anxiety, but to they have their own point of view on it.
Yeah.
Some
Their own
people,
experience. Yeah.
yeah, like you said, some people more can deal with it. I feel like lately I've been able to deal with it more. And I'm not saying like lately. When I say lately, I mean these last few years. I've been
Yeah.
able to deal with it more because I got so depressed in Oklahoma. I was so depressed, and I don't really still can tell you the issues of why, but weight gain was an issue.
Mm.
It was an issue, and my thing is like I'm not a big person on eating a whole bunch of food. I'm a pasta potato person.
Mhm.
So I can go I can go get my comfort food and it's potatoes. And
Yeah.
then that's what that's not good. But anyway, so I gained a lot of weight. And when I say a lot of weight, I'm not skinny right now, but I was like two people back then. And I put up pictures before on Facebook, but you don't notice you're a certain size until you look back at a picture.
Mhm.
When I actually started, when I got here and lost weight, um I'm almost 100 pounds down from when I was living in Oklahoma.
Mhm.
Almost 100 pounds down, and it might not sound like a lot, but that's a lot. Because when I
It
was
is a
looking at the
lot.
picture, but look, when I looked at one of my pictures and I realized I'm like, oh, that's how I looked in that outfit. See, I thought I looked completely different.
Yep.
When
Yep.
I was putting that outfit on, I thought it looked good, and I was like, oh, that's cute. But then when I looked at the picture, I'm like, girl, you was huge.
Mhm.
You was huge.
That's how I
And
that's how I am looking at old pictures. And I mean, not even so much that, because sometimes, like, just, like you're saying, certain outfits or whatever, you think you look a certain way or whatever. But
right.
like for me, my struggle, I mean, and I have gone through weight loss before. um After I had my youngest, I lost 40 pounds.
Okay.
I did keto. I was working out, whatever. And I gained a lot of weight after I had her. So anyways, like when she was going on a year old, I started, doing, keto and trying to lose weight and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And it wasn't until then that I actually realized how big that I had, how big I had gotten.
Right.
Because even my husband was like, wait a minute. Like, because it had been a while since we had been out, and we finally went out on a date night and whatever, and actually put on clothes.
Right.
He was like, dang, you did get small. I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
I had lost 40 pounds, but you know more recently, I haven't lost more than, when I first did the diet and stuff. I've been kind of sitting at the same weight. And it's not the weight that I want to be at.
Right.
It's not the
Yeah.
weight, my goal weight is about 30 pounds away. So, I still
Yeah,
have
I'm
some work
far.
to do. And I even like the other day, I walked past the mirror and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm that wide.
Woo, I
I'm
just did
like,
that too. Like, where did these hips come from?
right. And I
Like, my
got on the
family got hips,
scale.
but Jesus.
I got on the scale and I was like, I gained 7 pounds just,
Yeah.
in the past 3 weeks that I've been at home. And I'm like, man, I didn't want to, be any heavier than I was.
Right.
And I didn't gain 7 pounds just sitting at home.
It's I could work out more than what I do. We've been down for a while that I should be working out more than what I do. So I told myself Sunday, and I've started like a little calendar that I was gonna make myself work out 3 times a week.
Hmm.
And when we have, I was so scared to get out on tracks. But when we have another warm day, I'm gonna go out. I'm wearing my mask, you know, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hit the track. I'm tired of exercising in my house.
Yeah.
I
See,
need
I
some
haven't exercised it.
in
I
the
hadn't been
house.
exercising in the house. So I haven't been exercising at all. Like, so what my cousin actually created the group that I invited you to. So that's her
Okay,
program that
your
she,
cousin.
created, and it's like, she'll send you the emails with the workouts, and then she posts the emails, or she posts the workouts
Right.
in the group and stuff. So I've been doing that. I've been doing smoothies and, just trying to cut back. Like, I'm not, going crazy with the eating or whatever, because I don't want to, I'm not ready mentally, I don't think, to give up everything that I should be giving up, but, at
And
least
I don't
like
feel you
cutting
have
back.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel you have to. Just to let you know, we got like a minute and 30 seconds remaining. I'm glad they did that, but
Oh, yeah. Because I was
we
wondering,
good.
like, okay, we've been on here for.
We've been on here for a minute, but now we see how we can do it. We had
Yeah.
a lot of issues with trying to get on live Facebook. We couldn't do it on Facebook anymore, and I don't have a lot of people on Instagram, but I guess we could save this and send it to Facebook so that if people
Yeah.
want to watch it, they can watch it. And then we'll figure something out for next time. But I do appreciate this talk because it's a lot that when I don't know if you noticed, but when I first got into the car, my anxiety acted up a little bit because I was nervous and I didn't know what to say. I don't
Hmm.
do live like this with another person. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But, so.
That's how I was leading up to this. I even, like I told you, I had a notebook and I had written notes and stuff. But right
Right,
before we got on here, I was like, you know what? I'm putting
45
it down.
seconds.
Okay. So it was fun doing this. I
Right.
guess we'll see y'all
Okay.
next time.
Yes. And we will share this to Facebook. And then we'll the next video we will put like our information under in the
Yeah.
comments so that you can follow our Facebook pages because we're gonna try to make this an ongoing thing so that
Hmm.
everybody can express or give us questions or whatever you want and we can try to answer them or if y'all really have concerns with everything. But we have like 15 seconds left, so we're
Okay.
gonna just exit out
All
and
righty.
we'll see how this goes.
I'm glad we did this.